Hello. Hi, Megan. Can you see me? I saw that weirdness too. I don't know what was going on. I see on my channel an ad running. But yeah, I know it said there were two places for me to click. Yeah, right. Hi, Malin. Yeah, okay, cool. You can see me. Yeah, that's so weird. Like for me, there's an ad playing. I'm gonna skip my ad. There I am, okay. When you skip your own ads. Oops. How's the lighting? I really want to brighten it up, but I know these are so white. So, how's it going, you guys? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Malin. How's it going? Yeah, I pressed go live 3 times. It said something was up my internet, which I know nothing's up with my internet. I did have a good... you did have a ad to good lighting. What? I did have an ad. That's what the ad was. It wasn't for me. It was for a shaping thing. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Eliza. Hi, Rachel. How's it going? How are you guys? Hello, Samia. How's it going? You're not late. We just started. I feel like you can say Happy New Year all of January. Like, I'm still saying it at the end of January. I mean, it's still the first month of the year. Winter tired. Oh. Yeah, that's funny because I was thinking that the other day and I was like, oh, heck, no way. Because I actually really loved it when it got cold. And then I started getting like, what was it? It was more that I was like not wanting to do all the things I usually do because I was a little colder. Hi, Glenn. How's it going? Okay, cool. You never had one on my page? Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I don't actually click monetize on them. Sometimes for a while. So that's why. Hi, Kat. Happy New Year. How's it going? All right, let me get rid of my mouse here. I was about to iron this fabric. Yeah, YouTube is a little bit weird. You're knackered. Oh. I feel like, yeah, we like relax sometimes over the like it's like this big lead up to the holidays. Even if you're not celebrating the holidays, there's still just this like massive like lead up, and then everyone just kind of stops. But you're still trying to keep things going. And then we have to all go back to like work, or everyone around us is going back to work and getting back to normal. And it's like those first couple days you're just like, phew, I'm tired. My eyes were so tired last night, I almost left work early. It was weird. Oh, yeah, exactly, Malin. Yeah, you know where I used to live? It was further north. And so like in the summer, it would stay light until past 9:30 at night. And my parents would be like, oh, the sun went down hours ago, you know? And I'm like, oh, it's still up here. You know, it was really weird because they were in the Southern California and I was in Northern California. And, but in the winter, the sun would be fully down by 5 o'clock. Sometimes 4:30, especially because it's also cloudy there all the time. So, oh, cool, Eliza. I can see like my hands waving around and I need to like get rid of some of the video. When you annoy yourself. You know, Eliza, I usually am really good about looking at that hashtag, which I have pulled up on my screen right now. And I just did that, and it's really cute. Oh, your poor nose. I was talking with a guy last night, and he kept, like, blowing his nose, and I could hear him. It wasn't, like, face-to-face with him. It was, like, over headphones. And so I was like, do you have a cold? He's like, yeah, my nose is so raw. I felt so bad for him. I was like, yeah, once that starts, it's hard to reverse it. You can try and prevent it, but you're thinking, oh, this will be gone in a day or so. I won't have to prevent my nose from getting raw. So I was about to iron this, and then I was like, oh, I better go live. But I think I might not. Like, you know me, I'm kind of like, I kind of like sometimes keeping the wrinkles in so that it fits when it's right out of the dryer. Because, you know, say I iron this right now and then I go to like, say these were mine. These aren't even mine, you guys. These are for Hart's fabric. But say these were mine If I ironed them, cut them out, and sewed them, and then I washed them and I wanted to wear them right out of the dryer, they'd be a little small because they'd be wrinkly, you know? Yeah, I think, you're right. I know, Eliza. I'm thinking same thing. Like, I even wore my Burnside bibs today, and my daughter's like, oh, those are cute. I'm like, see, I don't really think they're cute. I love the way these look on other folks, but I feel like they're more flattering on like a less curvy figure, you know? So, yeah, I know. It's not too bad, you guys. It's not too bad. That print is kind of kooky on the camera. I bet I'm going to get that weird camera glitch. He's 11. He's parenting you. All right, so just in case you were wondering what we're making, you can kind of tell. We're making the Tilly and the Buttons Cleo, and they call this the Cleo Dungarees. They're not dungarees. It is an overall dress, just so you're clear that it's not pants. It's, yeah, it's a skirt. It's a dress, so... Yeah, right, Malin? I know, they're so comfortable. You know what the thing is, Malin? I modified these a lot. So I added elastic. Oh, can you even see? Is this low enough? I'll step on tiptoes. See, I added elastic in the back. And what else did I do? Is there button sides on the Burnside? I don't even need those right here. I put tack buttons here, so they just do this, which is really easy. What else did I do? I did something kind of major. And I think I should have... Oh, I got rid of how the ties are. Like, I crisscrossed them in the back, and I pulled them to the front. That's what it is. Yeah, so, yeah. So, yeah, let's talk about this fabric. It is called... Let's see. I already had it memorized, and I forgot. Yeah, so it's Hazy Moon Canvas Natural. It's number 99005 on the Hart's website. And remember, you guys have a code for 10% off if you say, oh, shoot, what is it? Where'd my little thingy go? Here it is. So 10. So 10, like the word to so, yeah. I have never made a Tilly pattern. Yeah, well, exactly, Beverly. Yes. I don't use that term jumper anymore either, because I was a knitter for so long, and it is really confusing because there's a lot of folks I knew that were English, were British, and say jumper for a sweater. Yeah. So there is a slimmer version. I thought it was just longer or shorter. Knee length or mini length. Knee length looks kind of long. I'm not gonna lie. These instructions are so tiny on here. I was like, oh boy, I may be going rogue on this one. Hi, Andy. How's it going? I saw you subscribe last night. Thanks. Welcome, welcome. I know the live thing is really fun. It's not for everybody, but it really is a totally different experience because you can like interact with everybody. You know, if I'm not noticing what you're saying, they might respond. I might not, you know. So yeah, and so the other thing is people will call this a pinafore, but a pinafore, it is not. A pinafore is a overgarment that you wear to protect your clothing underneath, and it usually ties in the back. So I call this an overall dress or a jumper. But even yeah, like I can't even think now. Old lady. Stop it. You've made a lot of Tilly patterns, Rachel? Nice, nice. Jumper for you. Yeah. I just learned that a local friend of mine who's an amazing sewist just started knitting, and I'm kind of excited. We're going to chat about it. She's like, I want to hear what you think of the knitting world. I was like, oh, I know a lot about that. Okay, so I did pre-wash the fabric last night, or I will say my daughter did because, well, she did for me because she had all her stuff in the laundry. It actually is really soft. So I've made a lot of things out of this, like coca, linen, cotton canvas, and usually it's scratchier. I have a couple of skirts that I've made, and they are indeed kind of scratchy from the linen. This is really soft, and it's not as stiff. So this is actually going to be pretty easy to sew. It's not like a denim where you might have to up your needle or something. It's definitely wrinkly on the cut edges and stuff, but for the most part, it's pretty tolerable. So, oh, she was on the Great British Sewing Bee. Okay, cool. Neat. I've never seen those. Ah, they call it turtlenecks polos. Really? I mean, turtleneck's so cute. It's kind of a weird word. All right, so I'm thinking that I want to make the shorter version. I feel like the silhouette is more flattering if it's a little more short. What do you guys think? I don't want to, I may be trying this on for the picture, so I don't want it to be too short. It's a little chilly. Really, Megan? All of them do? Isn't it just the... Does it really? Wow. I'm missing my Needle Sharp subscription, I have to admit. I really like it. All right, so let's see, I got all my weights. I dug out my little tiny iron. See, I really love this little one, and I just need to start turning it upside down because it does have that no handle thing. All right, so I'm pretty sure this is the shorter line. So this stream is sponsored by Hart's Fabric. They're a Santa Cruz-based fabric store, but they're online. Excellent selection of garment fabrics. And they're just super kind, and they just send us a project. They don't really pay me or anything, but they send me a project to sew. We cut and sew it up, and then I send everything back to them, and then they display it in their store. And so it's kind of win-win because I definitely don't need a new garment every week of the year, and we get to sew something new and maybe even something I would never pick out. So it's kind of cool that way. I don't pick out what they send me. They ask me if I have an opinion, and sometimes they'll say, oh, I've sewn that 3 times, so maybe don't send that unless you really want it. I don't really argue with what they're going to send. I only give them feedback on, like, some fabric choices aren't good for the camera, and that's really all I care about. So yeah, they're really great. Oh, sorry, Sophia. You know what? Thank you for telling them. Yeah, there was something funky. In fact, I went late live. Wait, I said something wrong there. I went live a little late because I clicked go live 3 times and it wasn't clicking. I'm really sorry about that, Sophia. You haven't missed anything. We're just chatting a little bit. But I really want to see more of my chat here. You guys are chatting a lot. Okay. Hi, Daphne. How's it going? Oh, goodness. You agree shorter? Hi, Laura. How's it going? Laura, are you Yoga Jones? You were here early. Oh, yeah. You're here. Exactly. I know. You know, here's the deal. I'll give you a little insight. So when after the stream, usually I create an alert for the next stream. And so I'll upload a thumbnail as soon as I make it, or if I've already made it, and I schedule it in the little streaming platform. And then I save that, and then you'll get, I think you might get an alert that says So Live is going to be live tomorrow at 11 a.m., right? Or something like that. Well, I did that, and then I was kind of poking around in the background of the stream because, oh, and this is something I want to tell you guys. They're doing, Streamlabs is my software that I use, my encoder, and they are doing a fundraiser for Australia fire relief. And so if you guys donate to me anytime during the month of January, the money's going directly to the Red Cross to support Australian fire relief. So when I was poking around in there, I kind of went back to my stream thing, and it showed me that schedule stream window again, and I was like, why does it say save broadcast info so bright and bold? So I clicked it again, and so I think it created 2 alerts. So I'm really sorry, that was my fault. And then when I tried to go live today, it wouldn't. So to do hubby any, I'll definitely, Andy. What do you like to sew, Andy? I'm always up for suggestions. So, you saw what cute shawl. Thank you so much for telling those folks, Sophia. I'm sorry about that. You guys, I sew really good. You just have to trust me. All right, so they trace off the pattern for me, so you're not seeing the actual pattern pieces here. That way, I don't have to do it. It's my only thing I ask for. They'll send me a pattern that I can cut because I don't want to tape anything together. Jan, nice to see you. You're just starting out, Andy? All right. Are you going to make men's clothes then? Is that what you're interested in? You're saying, am I making my hubby any clothes? Is that what you asked, right? Just making sure I understand. All right, so let's look at this. All right, so this is the back dress cut to, strap cut to. Boy, I feel like you could kind of think about the placement of your strap because of the print. So maybe I'll fussy cut those. Because see, look, it's folded in half. You can see, so this little angle means that it's folded in half like this and then it gets sewn into the seam at an angle. So it kind of comes off a little more ergonomic on your body. So if I were to center the print on this, it wouldn't really work. So I need to kind of think about that. So we'll just cut that chunk off and then fussy cut it a little bit. Something to think about. Or you could do this. You could do the cross grain thing and not worry about it at all. My shawl on my Instagram, I don't even remember. Oh, Megan, what are you gonna do with me? All right, so there is a pocket here and 2 hip pockets. What do you guys think? Are we doing all the pockets, you guys? These are facings. So this is the only pattern pieces you have. You have a front, you have a back, 2 pockets, and facings. And they requested a size 6. Usually they let me pick the size. So they requested a size 6, which is not a US 6, just so you guys know. I'm going to tell you the size. I don't want to like do it from memory because we looked at a few size charts yesterday, so I'm not sure. All the pockets, right, Melin? That's my girl. Okay, so we're making this pattern's size 6, which is UK. Wait, or is it US? Boy, I don't actually know. It might be US 6. Size 6. I don't know. This is the first time in a while they actually sent this pattern here. But it's taped together. I think they sent this to me in error, so I was just going to send it back to them. But let's just lay a pattern piece on here. So, okay, how does the sizing go? Whoa, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or maybe she's doing the, wait a minute, what is this? Look at, there's numbers here. There's numbers here. Tilly has her own sizes. Yeah, wait, I'm totally confused on the sizing. I don't know what I'm making right now. That's a little disconcerting. Let's see here. Okay, we are making this size 6. So, this is a US 12, a UK 16. It's a 34-inch waist and a 43-inch hip. There's no bust measurement. Mainly because it's probably really hard to measure the bust, right? Okay, Andy. They're not vanity sizes. Okay. Okay. That's fine if they just have anything to do with ready-to-wear sizes. It's the fact that she's numbering them 1 through 6, but then also provides a corresponding US and UK size. Then you're, in my opinion, you're still acknowledging ready-to-wear sizes. So what you can do, I've seen this before, you guys. I'm not being criticizing. I'm just saying, from my experience when I've worked with a lot of companies doing pattern drafting, especially because I worked with a lot of companies that wanted to like reinvent the wheel, the way to do it is to just go by measurements. So you could do size 6, her 6, and it's that, you know, and just say very clearly, these numbers do not correspond to blah, blah, blah. Or you letter them, A, B, C, D, E, F, you know, not do a number. So that is just my 2 cents there. You know what I mean, jelly beans? Do the pockets in a different fabric. They didn't send me any. That would be really cute. Like a stripe or something. All right, so let's get to cutting. Let's get to the fun part, you know? All right, so we have we're doing all the pockets. This is cut too, so I'm actually not going to cut this near the fold. I'm gonna save. But what do you guys think about pattern matching? Please say no, please say no. I do want to make sure I cut this straight on the grain though, because there is a very distinctive pattern. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up the circles best I can, because that way I can you know, that way I can maybe do some pattern matching in the back. So I'm just marking the circles on this side. Right, Barbara? I might have to match, don't you? Don't you have a solid blue? Do you think that would be a little too patchy though? Because that was my first instinct too. So here, let's just hope this is printed pretty good on the grain. And see, this is what I'm talking about, you guys. Do you see that little bit of torquing right here? That's when you gotta be really careful. But I'm doing this in single layers. It's hard to see the, I can't really see the print through the canvas. So we're just gonna do our best. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna cut them out individually. We're gonna be smart cookies. It's the only way to go about it. All right. We just got to make sure we do a left and a right, and we don't get too pointing the same way. Oh, I clicked my mouse. Yeah, you know, probably Eliza, because like say, I just know like there's, I don't agree with standardized sizing. Anyone who's been here from the beginning knows how I have really strong opinions about sizing. And I've worked in the industry for more than 30 years. Worked in the garment industry. So the thing is, like, I've also been on the side of owning my own business and running a website. And so at the end of the day, there's going to be a point where your website might not be friendly to what different formats of different vendors. Like I didn't carry other people's products, I carried my own, so it made it a little easier. But if you were a fabric store and you were carrying 50 different pattern brands and you'd set up the algorithm or not the algorithm, but configured your website to when you filled in the information for each product, it's going to have limits. And a lot of small companies can't pay for all of the unlocked, you know, ways to customize a product listing. So they may have to, you know, they started off and they had 40 companies and then they were like, hey, you know, it's this many sizes and these are the sizes and this is the price and this is how many we have. And then they get that one company that are like, okay, well, the sizes don't correspond to what our little setup is, so now we need to name it what we're calling it. And that's when things get kind of confusing. So that's my little rant about that too. So yeah, you could probably buy it from a US seller who's going to standardize it because they think they know better too. All right. So I decided to make this easy on myself. I'm going to go down the middle. Am I going to go down the middle? No. I'm going to go 5/8 of an inch past the middle, because then maybe my circles will, when they get sewn down the center seam, I'll have a perfectly invisible seam. Ooh, this little simple garment just got super fuzzy. Why'd you have to why'd you have to even say that, Barbara? Now I feel like I do have to match up specific circles. I'm gonna put this line, the seam allowance is 5/8 of an inch. I'm gonna put it 5/8 of an inch past the middle of the circle. There's a little mark there. You can actually see the middle of the circle because see it's got this little hash. And then I lined this line up along, well, I thought I had it lined up on the, in the middle. Make it easy on myself. Since, you know, I'm live. All right, let's do it. I'm going for it. So we are doing one layer at a time. So if anyone's new here, welcome. I'm Sarah, and I'm really glad you're here. This is a totally, you know, we're pretty open to everything here. What was that noise? I heard an alert. And if you ever have a question, please just ask it. Like, all abilities are welcome here, all sizes, all people. So just feel free to ask a question, make a comment. Feel free to argue with me with how I do something, because I really like those challenges. They make us all better. I think anytime you have to defend what you're doing, it makes you think it through and also question it, like, maybe I shouldn't be doing that, you know? So I'm open to it. Don't do it in my YouTube comments. It's not fair. It's not fair, and I don't like those comments. No, I'm just teasing. I don't mind it, except when it's snarky, and I've been getting those lately, and I'm like, what the heck, man? Just come to the live chat and talk to me. Give me a chance to defend myself. All right, so I'm marking the pocket right now. I don't know if you can see the marks on the tracing, but I'll show them to you. So I'm just going to put my pins right there. So right here, they have the little dots for the pocket markings, and I'm not going to do all 5. I'm just going to do the top 2. I know that when I put the pin in, wherever the pin went in is the marking. So that looks pretty good. See, I got my center line. Even if I got this a little crooked, I'll probably go by the center line and adjust my seam allowance. You know what I mean? So, oh yeah, oh, so I guess my alert was a little too long. Yeah, so there's the donation thing. I'm not saying you need to donate to me. I'm just saying, like, I just want to make sure that any donations I get this month go towards that. That's my goal. All right, so I'm going to fold this up. I knew I went along this line here, and then we're going to put this 5/8 of an inch past. It's not a shaped seam back here, so it makes it easy to do. Let's see how far. I got to go all the way to this one. And if you want to chat and you're having trouble figuring it out, YouTube does this weird thing. It's not a weird thing, but you have to do what they call create a channel, which is just another word for an account. You don't need to start streaming or uploading video or anything like that. You just need to have an account through YouTube to be able to chat in anybody's live stream. It's just a protection. I'm trying not to cut the fold of this tracing. So sometimes Hart's Fabric sends me the pattern traced on this Swedish tracing paper. We have a few Swedish people in the chat. They've never heard of it. I love these little mysteries. But it's actually really cool. I've never used it. I know a lot of people really love it, and I've had friends that are avid sewists talk about it, but I had never used it before. I just usually use paper or just use the tissue. I don't mind cutting out my patterns though. So some folks are wiser and they like to trace their patterns and not cut out the original. I'm a little more reckless. Okay, I didn't do my notches yet. These double notches are so close together. I think they're just pattern matching. I mean, seam matching, not pattern matching, sorry. All right, so let's see. We're gonna put this one aside. So now we have our front and our back, and we have a left and a right. These are our back pockets then. I'm kind of, despite being kind of reckless, I'm pretty tidy. It's my redeeming quality. All right, so now we have a bigger chunk to deal with right here because I kind of canted it towards the selvage rather than just putting it smack dab in the middle of the fabric too. I read the wrong way. Nah. I think some folks think that it is my obligation to do this for them and sew the way they want me to sew or format the video a certain way. And mostly that's just folks who don't understand that a live video is kind of out of my hands. Like once it gets uploaded, I don't re-download it and then edit it and condense it. It's more of a live experience because I'm trying to build a community of people that want to interact and talk about sewing. So it's a little bit different. So yeah, and I say sewist because it is gender neutral. I also used to say seamster, but that was a little too confusing for people. Yeah, right, Glenn? You trace unless you drafted your own. Yeah. Oh, okay, Rachel. I didn't know that. So this isn't a pattern from one of her books, right? Yeah, because also sewer is the word sewer, and I don't like that. So, all right, so I'm gonna center, I think I'm gonna center my circle. So here's the fold line, and then there would be a 5/8 inch seam, right? So basically this strap is only about, it's only about this wide. So really I want to center the print along this fold right here. So we'll just put it right smack dab on that center of the circles. Don't you think? I mean, I could do it this way, but that might be kind of weird. You know? Hi, Live Love Naturally. How's it going? No, not from a brick. What's the Stevie? Your point. Exactly, Andy. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, and not to mention, like, my iPhone hates the word sewer or the word see. So, because it changes it to the word see, like you can see someone. And I've definitely had weird conversations with people because the word see worked in the context of the sentence. Because it's also, you know, a verb. But it was still confusing. So, yeah, I like sewist. I don't know how widespread it's used, but I like it. And I do see people use like sewers of Instagram and sewists of Instagram. I haven't been using that much that lately. I've been cutting down on my hashtag use because I only have so much time in the day that I want to do that. All right, so I'm going to do 2 straps, and I'm going to do a left and a right as well, so that my seam, when I sew the strap together, is on the same side, it's either to the center or the outside. Buttons down the side. Oh, okay, why did you see, okay. All right, I'm looking at your answering. All right, so I'm looking at my, let's see what I'll do here. Maybe I'll fold it along. See how there's this little like line? I'm gonna fold it along that, like this. I'm not using any like, you know, tips and tricks that I've learned. I'm just using logic. Math and logic. That is what rules my sewing mostly. All right. I think we can sew this all in one sitting tomorrow, Saturday. I'm thinking about using flat felled seams instead of the serger. Oh, the Ariel skirt. Okay. That's cool. She has a knit book too. You guys are so much. That's right, Frederica. I knew that, but I started doubting myself. Sorry. You guys are so much more in the know than I am. I definitely have like a limit to how much input on the interwebs I can handle. For being someone like, for me, I really like video as far as entertainment goes and stuff like that, but I really don't like to spend a lot of time on social media type stuff. And so it does put me a little bit out of the loop, unfortunately. I'm more of a hands-on type. Okay, so now we're going to match this one as well. And this one's the front, so I'm kind of glad I cut my teeth on the back. Because you guys know me, like sometimes I go for like the part I'm most excited about, like that wallet yesterday. I'm like, I'm going to sew the one that's for me first, even though I probably should have sewed the sample first, you know. Okay, so I don't have a lengthen or shorten line on this one. I mean not a lengthen or shorten line, but this line. This line right here. I'm going to pin it since I don't have it. I'm just going to make sure I don't lose it. All right, so let's see here. So this is the front, and this seam's going to go straight down the front. So I actually think matching the circles was a good call, you know? Like it was the responsible thing to do. Because can you imagine what this would look like if you had, you know, the center front looked more like that? Like that was your center front seam, you know, and this was the left and this was the right. Right? So I see what Hart's did there. They're like, let's make Sammy work for this one. Yeah, right. I love flat felled seams too, Louise. I think it's you and I that are always talking about. Hey, Walter. How's it going? Hi, Melon. Oh, no, it's not Walter. It said Melon Walker. Oh, sorry about that. I saw Walker and I thought it was Walter. Hi, Melon. How's it going? Oh, that's your wife. I love it. First husband, wife in the chat that I know of. That's hilarious. I love it. I've definitely seen like friends I know log in and I'm like, whoa, is it really Stuart? And they're like, no, I'm on my husband's account. I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, so again, I'm going to put this 5/8 past that, this line right here in the middle of the dots. Making sure you guys can see that. So I almost started lining up this. That's always a little bit tricky. And then I'm going to line it up with the line going down. All right, so this goes 5/8 past. And I am eyeballing the 5/8. It's true. Here's my philosophy on that. There is a time to eyeball and there's a time not to eyeball. This would be probably a better time not to on one level, but like I said, I'm going to use that line to rule everything. But I also feel like it's kind of like when you put something away that you don't want to lose, and you're like, oh, where can I put this that I won't forget where I put this, because I don't need it very often, but when I need it, I really need it. Usually I put those things in the first place that pops into my head, even if I'm like, really? Okay. Because it's hopefully the first place that pops into my head the next time I'm looking for it. That's how I feel about seam allowance. even if like you really want to sew your things with accurate seam allowance, and I even have a little tiny video that says why, because those discrepancies can really add up and change the size of your garment drastically. But I'm pretty good at adjusting for things like that. This isn't something I'm wearing. This isn't even intended for anybody. This is intended to sit in a shop, but we still want it to be really accurate just in case anyone in the shop's like, maybe I'll try that one on and see if that's the size I should be. At the same time, what I think of as 5/8 right now, and what I think of as 5/8 in front of my machine is probably pretty consistent. So in a way, it's kind of good to trust that. That way I know that I don't change when I'm in front of the sewing machine. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to discount accuracy. I'm just saying we are humans and we do these things. So let's acknowledge it and not stress about it. Because 5/8 is a lot of seam allowance, so we have a lot of give there. I don't like how it doesn't look straight. Is it this part right here that doesn't look straight? Maybe I didn't fold it up the consistent. Oh God, I folded it up pretty darn good. I'm kind of surprised. I'm just gonna drop this down. You never know what it's like when it gets printed. You know, linen, cotton can be a little stretchy. So maybe that's why this line isn't perfectly straight. I don't know. I kind of looked at making this with hip pockets, but the armholes are pretty low. That's why you don't have side buttons. So you guys are both learning? That's pretty cool. Right, Megan? I think you could. I think the thing that's kind of nice about putting a seam right there is that it adds a little bit of structure. You know, it's kind of like for knitters, there's a debate when you're making sweaters on whether to knit all in one or put seams. And the seams on the sides and the shoulders, they actually add some stability and some structure. And considering that this would classically be made in like a denim, you could have that. I think it just gives you more of that overall look, you know, or the denim look with having the seam. Oh no, Frederica, I've totally done that before. But hey, you realized it. That's the most important part, right? The fact that you realized it. You're a clever cookie. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna mark my pocket here. So wait, why are there, okay, so there's hip pockets and top pocket. I see, all right, what do we want? I'm thinking we want pockets are nice here, but do we want it here and on the back? He knows more than you. That's great, you could be a good team though. I've so done that, Frederica. What do you guys think on pockets? Where's the picture? Let's see. I want to see. Okay, so they show them like one here and two on the back, or two here and two on the back. Here and then on the back. I really love doing this though. They're not mine, but yeah, I hear you. Well, how about I just cut out a few pockets and then I'll mark this. I'm not marking it permanently, so we don't have to use it. I'll leave us some options. You know? Okay. I did all those notches, right? Now we need to flip it over. Has anyone ever, like this would be so cute in corduroy, but if you're making this in corduroy, don't forget the nap of the fabric so that you don't have your left front going down and your right your right front going down, your left front going up. You know what I mean? I keep bonking my mouse. You did all of them and the back ones are flattering. I think that's a good idea. Rachel, does this fit kind of loose or is it kind of snug? Ah, I actually thought this was lined, Eliza. I was fully prepared for that. And I was kind of surprised when I didn't see a contrast fabric. I was like, huh, I wonder why there's no contrast fabric. And it's just a facing. So, because like this bib is lined. So, but does that have the pattern? Yeah, it is. Competitive. That's awesome. I love it. It brings out the best. It brings out the best in you, I hope. That's the right kind of competitive stuff. I'm really non-competitive with other people. I'm really competitive with myself, though. And I'm not in the way where, like, I'm hard on myself if it's not perfect, because you guys know I'm not about that kind of, it's got to be perfect. I'm more like, wow, Sarah, you could have done better, or you could have done it, you know, why didn't you think of that? You know, that kind of thing. I think we all kind of have that, but I do it in kind of a competitive way with myself, like I'm talking to someone else or something. Maybe I need to get that checked, you know. There's a little bit of too much inner monologue happening. You know, where I'm talking to myself. It's kind of clever that this pattern has such deep sides. You don't have to do the side buttons, because I think that could be a little intimidating, or just more of like a one more thing to do. The great news is, you guys, like this pattern is has the little overall clasps right here. So we're going to be able to finish this all in one. When we sew it, there's no buttonholes. So that's great. Everyone who's had a channel has made in corduroy. Oh, really? And you'll win. Uh-oh, I'm seeing it now. I'm seeing it. Oh, that's cute, Rachel. Like railroad striped in them? That kind? You'd rather be competitive with yourself. You guys got to paint us a visual. Are you in the same room? Are you in like the other room from each other? And are you shouting back and forth now? I like corduroy too. I feel like it had a stigma for a while there. But when I was a kid, man, dang, I had this favorite outfit. It's going to sound hideous to you guys, but I think I told you this story a long time ago. But when I was a kid, I remember my mom, you know, like I was young, she was trying to teach me to get ready for school by myself and all that. And I remember I had this favorite outfit, and I had like 2 pairs of corduroy pants. One pair was orange, one pair was yellow. And then I had a favorite shirt that was pink. And I loved wearing the pink shirt with either the orange corduroy pants or the yellow corduroy pants. I think these 3 colors go together really well. And I remember I came downstairs ready for school, and she was like, okay, now Emmy. My family calls me Emmy. Emmy, I want you to go upstairs. This is so not like my mom, you guys. I can't believe she said this. She's like, okay, I want you to go upstairs, and I want you to pick out an outfit. I want you to look in the mirror and think, would mom like this outfit? And I remember thinking, okay. And I was totally on board. I was a really obedient kid. I went upstairs and, you know, changed and probably just swapped out the shirt and to another pink shirt. And I looked in the mirror and I was like, will mom like this outfit? Nope. And I went back downstairs. Like, I didn't even think anything bad about it. I was like, nope, you won't like it. And I just went to school. You know, it was like, and you know, when I discovered Oil Lily, which is this old clothing brand, started in children's wear, and their stuff's super loud, multi-prints put together, really unique stuff. And they also, it's very Scandinavian. I know a lot of you know this company, Oil Lily. And they just started making their kids' clothes in women's sizes. And I was like, yeah, that is so my color scheme right there. So, and I feel like it started with that corduroy, those corduroy struggles that I had. I went through a gray and pink phase in high school. Oh, okay, PA. Nice. You've made this. Oh, this is like, this is such a popular pattern. I'm excited. I love that a lot of you have made this. All right, this is on the fold. And this one's on the fold. All right. These are the facings. So let's just do our pockets now. So oh, you guys, I gotta match my pockets. Hard. We're gonna do that now. And hopefully we're not like cutting up, since this print is very repetitive. Like it's not one way, I don't think. I haven't actually checked to see if it's one way. But because it's pretty repetitive, I'm pretty sure I'll be okay. I won't, like I have a lot of fabric left, but what I'm trying to get at is, say this was a fabric with an all over print of animals and the giraffe only happened here, there, and you know, like 4 times a yard. You would struggle to get your giraffe on a pocket if that's where it landed on the garment. You're trying to match the print. And I don't really care. This is the facing on the inside of the garment. I actually don't really care about how this matches up, so I'm going to cut it last. But it is cut on the fold. Now, if I don't have enough, I could just put a seam down the front right there, and that would be fine. There's no detractor to that. I could also cut it on the cross grain. I'm not going to cut it on the bias, but I am going to kind of match my pockets. So maybe I'll just commit to back pockets, bib pocket, right? Yeah, I don't see a marking on here, Frederica. Maybe not. Hi, Terry. How's it going? Yeah, right, Mullen? No pink and red, no green and blue, but brown and orange is apparently fine, right? What do you mean I'm a hot mess? I'm not a hot mess at all. I am not. What are you talking about? Let's look at my, I'm having fun. I'm like, I kind of am pretty excited just to be streaming and having a good time. Look at that. Even, oh, it's not actually the same circle, but I think it's Beverly or Barbara who told me I don't have to do that. So, wait, is this the front? Which one's the front? Which one's the back? Wait, is this the side seam? This is the back. Okay, so this is the front. I'm not doing the front pockets. We're taking these off now. We need to do a bib pocket. I'm going to line up that seam right there. Like this. And you know what? If I didn't match my circles left and right, then it might be a little hard to figure out how to match the print. So maybe going just for the circles is going to be okay. They're on a bot pattern. Oh. Yeah, right, Barbara? That's what I'm thinking too. Like, I think if you told someone they didn't match, they'd argue with you. There could be, Rachel. Maybe I'll look at the printout because they sent that. I need to ask them if they want me to send that back. So let's see. I'm thinking like it's a seam allowance here, not a fold down. Some bibs have a fold down. So I can put this kind of, I can be pretty confident where it's going to go. It almost lines up with this little edge here. And so what I could do is do this. I can say, all right, I'm going to put it, I'm going to line up. I'm going to line up the bottom of the top of this circle here, because this has this pocket will have a hem. And then I'll center it like that. And I'll center the pocket on the circle and line it up on that line. And then that way I know that's what I can trust. Right? Logic. Well, that's the bummer. When logic doesn't work, I'm kind of at a loss. You know? All right, so there's our... I need to get rid of these pins off my table. So I don't go over them with my knife. And that says hip pocket. Who's reading? Not this girl. Let's see. Damn it. Damn it. Okay, sorry. Let's look at it again. Sorry, I cussed. I very specifically told YouTube my content's not intended for children. They're really harassing us about that right now. Okay. It looks like it matches, right? I think I'm going to do one bib right here, Andy, and then 2 on the back. Just so I need to decide so I can pick out, match my pocket to the print. And I'm putting this kind of high up because, yeah, so that'll still, I mean, how different is it? It's just wider and big and longer. Okay. It's a little bit youthful. Yeah, that will be fine. Let's hope my other pocket will work, but I have enough fabric. This is going to be pretty easy. All right, so we're matching the line on top of the circle here, and I'm centering it. I have the center point at the bottom. I keep wanting to go to the center of these circles. Here, right here, here, right here. Oof, I barely made it on there. I made it, but I'm just going to make sure. All right. Never a dull moment, right? Voila. Okay, now we have our backs. Which I already have out. Here we go. Let's see. Right, Megan? I know a lot of folks that do that. My daughter, I haven't been able to dress her since she was barely 2. She just like flat out refused to let me. Okay, so I'm just gonna look at these. This one, yeah, is in the cream, and so is this one by about 3/8 of an inch. I'm just making sure they're about in the same spot so that I can cut out 2 pockets. What if if I use this pocket, it's not gonna work at all. It'll be like just off, enough that would trigger us a little bit. So we're not gonna use that pocket. So let's do this. Let's fold this along so that's basically the finished, like the pattern's telling us this is the pocket's gonna be centered around these notches, right? So then we can kind of match it up. Oh, sure, Andy. I mean, I'm kind of going fast today. I will admit that. Like, sometimes we have a lot more chit-chat and stuff. But, yeah, we added the cutting streams last year because I feel like it's a really big part of the process. Oh, Malin, me too. I'm so addicted to top stitching. So, I feel like I used to hate cutting when I was a new sewist for years. I really didn't like the cutting part of it. And then over time, it became definitely the more creative part of the process, because it's also your time to get acquainted with the pattern and the instructions, the sizing. It's kind of the sewing is the easy part once I have a hair tickling me. Once you kind of get all this answered, because if you have most of this answered, you can kind of just sew and just focus on the sewing and how it looks rather than, is it going to fit? You know, did I do this right? You know, it's good to just spend a little time on it. And I do definitely think about this a lot. I love hashtags for this reason, like seeing what other people have done and seeing what I like, what I don't like, and how it fits. It's really important. I'm going to see what the seam allowance is on the top of this pocket. Oh, they're so, so it's 5/8 on the top as well. All right, so it's a 5/8 inch seam. So we're just going to center this like this. And that's basically where the pocket goes. And I lost my pin. I'm gonna see if I can find it, because I think yeah, I can see the hole. This is why I don't like using the quilting pins, because they're so big. They're not in the fabric as tight as dressmaking pins, or just like, you know, these little glass head pins. The big quilting pins are really great if you have really big thicknesses and stuff. They're gonna hold better, and I like them because they're sturdy. I don't use pins when I sew, but sometimes they're really helpful for that, and I want my pins to stay. All right, so one pocket. I always want to say poquito, but that's actually not the word in Spanish. It's bolso. Okay. We have one, and we determined that pretty much the print is the same on either. So we can, I'm gonna do like a left and a right just to make sure. And if it's wrong, I'll just fix it later. Brookie, hey, how's it going? Now you're hungry for sushi. Wait, who's having sushi? Oh, thanks, Melon. It's totally natural. My hair color, that is. Your sister's 4-year-old twins pick out their own outfit. I feel like I missed a few things. What's daunting? Ah, Rachel, that's right. I did see that. The cutting is daunting. Yeah. That you can split the center front at the bottom for like a kick vent. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah, see, I said bolso, but bolsa. I'd heard both. Yeah, and it's funny because when you're in the garment industry, when you talk about pockets, you say pocket bag. So it's actually a really accurate translation. People don't say that in home sewing. They don't say pocket bag usually. I don't see that in home sewing instructions. Maybe for like denim like jeans pockets. Like these wouldn't be because they're stitched down. They're not really pocket bags. They're not separate. Hi Leah, how's it going? Happy New Year. All right, so where are we at? Let's see. Maybe if I do this, line up my circle like this. Does it work on this side? I don't feel like it's very straight. See, when I pull it back, I mean, it matches pretty good, don't you think? It's kind of my test. I feel like some of these things, look, you guys, I have been totally guilty, and I still am from, very regularly of not checking things. you know? And I have learned, though, that it is easier to check it right away than to wait, you know? It's easier to do it now. So that's why I check those things. Sometimes I just don't want to know, right? You're just like, it's fine. I've spent a lot of time and effort on this. It's going to work. Other times it's just not, you know? And it's funny because I've been recording the video for the project bag, and I tell people, check it right now. You may not like what you see, but it's so much easier to fix it right now than it is 2 steps from now. It's just better, and it's kinder to your future self, who you like. You like yourself, right? So you really do need to be kind to your future self. Nothing wrong with that. I'm going to cut this on the right side of the fabric. Plenty of fabric. Thank you, Hearts. I really love it when we're not playing fabric chicken. I actually, a lot of times, do not check. I do not check if I have enough. I know that sounds crazy. And we've all seen it's gotten me into trouble. So I get better now about checking, especially if I'm not the one who, I'm lining up my circles. If I'm not the one who bought the fabric. Okay, I'm gonna do that. You know, I didn't ask you guys, like, how did all your gifts go? Like, did you have good gift recipients? Wait, what the heck here? Oh shoot, that is like massive. What am I thinking? Wait, what is going on here? Oh, the back is much lower. Okay. I know, right, Melissa? It's really awesome. I'm loving seeing all the new people. I love it. I love it when people chat. You guys know that. It's just, doesn't get better than that for me. All right. And I actually saw some new Patreon subscribers yesterday, which really surprised me. But then I realized, oh, maybe because of the wallet that we're doing. That'll be free soon. Oh, you guys, I'm just having some trouble here. I can't see the dots, and I don't want them to be crooked, even though it's the facing. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to do something I really actually don't usually recommend, and that is I'm going to flip the pattern piece. I'm going to go like this. Cut 1/2 and then flip it. This, the fabric's starting to feel dicey now. This piece is going to go here, I think. Is it going to work there? Maybe I'll focus on this negative space here. Yeah, so that'll work right there. Ay caramba. I don't like cutting in the middle of the fabric, but I kind of got to. This is a crazy facing. I might put a seam in it if I wasn't have all this fabric, you know? So. Oh, Melon. Yeah, that's nice. My hair turned white when I moved here. I realized, like, it happened really quickly. When I made a big family move, and it was more traumatic than I realized. Hi, Sydney. How's it going? Oh, that's awesome, Terry. You taught her how to make her own, too? That's so cool. Iron the fabric. That's so cool. No, I'm not ironing the fabric. Leave me alone. All right. I'm going to stick this right here. And I think that this will fit right here. Yeah, so these can kind of nest together. If I stay on the same line, I'll know that'll fit. All right, so I'm gonna make this piece a little smaller so it's a little easier to deal with. I'm a little nervous about cutting too much though. I think I'm just gonna have to take a chance. Who, me? There's the top of the circle, there's the top of the circle. Okay, that's not bad. All right. These are my last 2 pieces, except I have a little bit of interfacing for these facings. I don't think it's a big enough piece though. These pieces are huge. Let's put this up here. These pieces don't show, they're on the outside of the garment, they're on the inside. So, you know, I'm being a little fussy. Why not, right? I'm just gonna put these here like this. And I'm gonna start with the perimeter edge. Making sure I don't have any cuts in the fabric. Just in case, you know. Hi, Rebecca. Nice. I was just telling them that my new friend, I have a friend who just started knitting, and it's Rebecca. So I was like, that's kind of cool. There's a really amazing yarn dyer here in the chat, Rebecca, that I'm definitely going to tell you about. Most of my things I knit with her yarn. All naturally dyed. So amazing. That's Brooke, Sincere Sheep. You're nail biting? Nah, we got this. So, so something I talk about sometimes is I really like having backup plans. Like say the fabric was a little bit skint and I was kind of nervous. I start coming up with backup plans. So a really great backup plan for this, and this is why I did it after the pockets, because I didn't do the contrast pockets, but that's an option. So if you're getting close, you could do contrast pockets. You could do pockets on the cross grain or something like that, just kind of mix it up and then not worry about the pattern matching. But the other thing you can do is just make the facing out of a totally different fabric. So, you know, I like telling those things to myself, like what if, you know, this happens, or what if I run out? That way I'm not stressing about it. I've definitely lost at fabric chicken once or twice, but it kind of makes you more creative and a little bit more resourceful and a better troubleshooter when you get into those situations. I feel like it's only when you make mistakes do you learn, or when you're faced with things that kind of try you, that you kind of learn. Because it's when you learn how to get out of a pickle that you actually start thinking it through. This is especially true in knitting, because I'm sure Rebecca will find this out. Like, you'll be knitting and you'll be like, oh God, something's wrong. I have like 5 extra stitches, but I don't know how to do it. And then it just gets to that point where you're like, I really don't want to have to wait till I see that friend. I need to figure this out. And then you sit there figuring it out, that you start kind of getting better at it. Oh, that's awesome, Brooke. I love that you do that. Is this really, oh, so this is at a little point because the straps come out right there. That's why. I don't understand. How does this fit on the back? Wait, what does the back look like? Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry. I'm a noob. Yeah, just forget me. I was like, I don't remember it being that shape. It's totally this shape. All right, we need this for interfacing. I'm just doing my notches right now. I was thinking today too, like I was cutting out the binding for my first quilt that I made, and I didn't allow myself to bind my quilt because I wanted to finish the Cascade duffel coat and send it off to the gal, and I really wanted to bind the quilt. I love binding though, and I didn't let myself do that until the Cascade was gone. And so today I was cutting out the binding. I'm doing something kind of probably a little bit unconventional, because I don't really want to agonize over thinking about what fabric to use as the binding. And so I picked, when I bought the fabrics, I picked something called a jelly roll, because I just didn't think about it. I was like, you know what, I need fabric for this quilt. I'm going to this class. And, you know, I'm learning. Maybe this won't even get finished. Maybe, who knows what'll happen. So I'm not going to stress out. Oh boy. And so I just picked this jelly roll and this yarn dyed woven fabric that I really liked. Hearts! What happened? Okay. I think, me thinks that this yardage could be maybe not correct or something, because this isn't going to work out. I can get this one. Wait. Can I get this one? Yeah, I can get this one. So I love this woveable interfacing that they send too. Let's see, it's SF101, I think, Shape Flex. I'm kind of new to it. So yeah, so I liked the overall like fabric color scheme of that jelly roll thing, and I always had wanted an excuse to buy one of those. As a garment sewist, I'm always seeing all the quilting things, and they look so fun, and I wanted a reason to have one. So I was like, I'm buying one of these. They're the right width for my project, so I won't even have to cut as much. Dang it. And so I did that, right? And I ended up using every single fabric in that jelly roll, but I even used fabrics I didn't like. It doesn't matter. They all go together. They look good. And I think it's such a great opportunity to use fabrics you normally probably wouldn't do if you just let it go, you know? And so I'm doing bits of that jelly roll all the way around the perimeter of my quilt as binding. So I figured out the math, and I have 24 different fabrics, and I figured out how much each length needs to be. So it probably won't be a traditional thing to do, but I'm, you know, I'm excited. All right, this isn't going well. I think I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna use this anyway, even though it cuts it off a little bit, because the seam allowance is so wide. Let's see, maybe I can get away with the part that's not interfaced being in the seam allowance. See that? Can you see that on the camera? You can, yeah. Oh, so Louise, a jelly roll is, I'll show you what I had left. I mean, Louise, we want something called a jelly roll, right? So see, they give you all these different fabrics, and they're all pre-cut in this width. And then they wind them up like this. You see them in the fabric store, all wound up like this. So it looks like a jelly roll. And then you see like one each of the fabric prints. You know? So yeah, it's 2.5-inch strips of every pattern of a collection. Exactly. Thank you. Right? Here's my quilt. Yeah, so see, I don't like some of these prints, but I just did it. I didn't think too hard about this. It was my first quilt, and I really wanted to learn how to do that paper piecing thing. So yeah, you know. And then when I was finished, I kind of was like, okay, I'm finishing. I'm a finisher. I know, I'm really excited about the quilt. I really want to use it. I love it being here, actually. It may just stay here. Oh boy, I'm having trouble with this. But I wasn't allowing myself to finish it until the cascade was out the door. So now I can. All right, I'm just going for it. You can piece interfacing too. It's not the end of the world. Like I can put a little piece right there to fill in that little corner if I want. It's in the side seam. I know you guys have had mixed results with this Shape Flex stuff. So far so good for me. I'm not notching this. I don't notch interfacing. All right, so this goes with you. I marked my overall button spot right there. That's what that is. Oakley dokley. I just need a piece of interfacing for this. And so I think maybe I might be either piecing it. Oh boy. Oh. Look at that, look at that. There we go. Nothing like Tetris to prepare you for the sewing world, people. Am I right? my fabric was. See, I always like to cut with the fabric towards the blade. So if you're new and you're using a rotary cutter, please do that because it's more accurate and it's safer. I guarantee you, you are at one point going to nick yourself with your rotary blade. So the most visibility you have, the better. My classic thing, I've only done it once on camera, no one noticed, is when I'm cutting a lot, when I pull the blade back, I will sometimes do this and it'll just give me a little graze on the top of my knuckle. I know it's probably freaking you guys out because you can't see this depth perception of the camera. I've had people comment, please, you know, sheath your blade, you know. So I just guarantee you that it's more accurate to keep the fabric close to your blade. When you're using scissors, it's nice that you can move the fabric towards your scissors, but not when it's pinned like this. So I'm going to give myself just 1/4 of an inch seam allowance here, but I may not use it. I'm just going to see how I feel when I go to iron it on. All right. Doo-doo-doo. All right, so I'm going to get my project all ready to sew. Like I said, I'm pretty tidy. And if you've shared a studio with me, you wouldn't agree. Tidy is relative. All right, so we have the back pockets and the backs. The front with the bib pocket. Just think, Megan, how satisfying this is going to be when I'm sewing it and I iron it. Something to look forward to. So, they provided the overall type of hardware. Right, Mullen? Excuse me. Yeah, so, yeah, pattern Tetris. I know, I'm always trying to do that too. Like, I like to use the least amount of fabric. I don't like having a lot of scraps, though. I have a remarkably small amount considering how much I've done the last couple of years. Because I like keeping it kind of tidy. I really like being the creative part of going and buying fabric for a project. So a lot of times I will not buy fabric for no reason. I typically buy for, like, I go look for the fabric, you know. So there's always that fabric. I'm like, ooh, I want that. It may not be here. I'm going to grab it, you know. But most likely I like to, it's like yarn. When I buy yarn for a project, I always waited till I was ready to start the project. It's so much more fun to do it right then because otherwise you're constantly buying yarn for projects you haven't started and finished yet, you know. So oh, dang, Malin, that's a big savings. Flip the laundry. I like that you call it flip. Oh, right, Sydney? Yeah, so then I just put it all, I have little bins, or sometimes we had like crates. I used to have a factory, Andy, so we had shelves with these plastic crates that I bought at Target because they worked perfect on the shelf and they were cheap every time the college stuff was for sale. And we always binned it by cut pieces and projects, and we would bin them by fabric. But then when I go to sew it, and especially production style, I pull it all apart and I set it up by piece, and I put them in fabric order, and then I sit there and I production sew, and then they're always in fabric order. So, right, Sydney? Totally. Yeah, and then I'll put my I like to, you know, fold up my scraps, and I usually keep these close by. Because I feel like I jinx myself if I put them on the shelf and put them away. I'll absolutely need it during the sewing of it if I don't have it close by. It's like my superstitious part of my sewing. I probably never even told you guys that. So yeah, so this fabric is the Hazy Moon Canvas in Natural. And it is a coca print. I think we saw it on the selvage. 10/10s. Let's see if we can see more. There's got to be One more here. Let's see. Coca 1010. And you can get it at Hart's. So 10 gives you 10% off. And then they have all kinds of really great fabrics. All right, so we are ready to sew this. We're making the Tilly and the Buttons Cleo. I'm going to put this back here. Ooh, I just figured out I could put this little divider at the back and then just keep my stuff sitting there. Isn't that great? Yeah. And we'll start sewing on Saturday. We'll probably finish that day too. So, yeah, I think, Nancy, how's it going? Happy New Year. Good to see you. I saw your comment. Thanks. This hair is still driving me crazy. Yeah, so we'll sew this on Saturday. Yeah, and you know, for storage things, like my table, I always tell people, like, my table is not a real table. It's just the Gorilla shelves, the metal shelving, 2 of them with a 4x8 sheet of subfloor on top, and then I get a cutting mat to fit it. It's the cheapest way to get the biggest table with storage underneath. It's not portable, it's not collapsible, it is all up all the time. But it is configurable, so you could make a 4x4 as long as you have the, you know, it's a sturdy surface. So, yeah, it's nice to see you. It's a new year. And to some, it's a new decade. To some people, it's the last year of the decade. Just depends on where you fall in that camp. I love those kinds of, those abstract dilemmas. And then they'll go all the way back in history and think about it, you know? So, all right. Well, this was fun. It was really nice to see all the new faces here today. I'm Sarah. You can find me on Instagram, So Live. And if you ever want to look at what we've made, or you're having trouble finding like part 2 of video or the cutting of the video, Instagram's kind of funky to navigate. I do have everything organized by playlist, but even the playlist can be kind of tiresome. So if you go to my website, they're grouped by project, and it's really easy. You can search Cleo dress, which will be up there soon. And then, or Tamarack jacket, or Andy, I have made menswear. I've made the Fairfield button up by Thread Theory Designs and the Jutland pants by Thread Theory. That's the only menswear I've done last year, I think. Yeah, I just made another Fairfield for my husband. He loves it. Fits really great. Yeah, right, Megan? That's a good one. Yeah, so, I'm sorry that Streamlabs thing is so... Oh, I spelled January wrong. I thought I fixed that. Dang it. I will fix that. So, yeah, you can see a very concise little description of the project. It's under, like, all projects or something at the top of the website, I think. It's not hard to find. And you can see what size we made, what fabric I use. It's really concise. I'm a bullet point type of person. Like, I don't want to read a book about something, even though I talk a book about things and I write a book. On that, I don't. I will give you the bare bones, and then at the very bottom, if you want to see my thoughts on it, I have some thoughts. But every video is linked in that. So the cutting, it'll always be in the order. The thumbnails are the links, and they're in the order of how it unfolded. There are times where we have some pretty bad, you know, things happen with YouTube, and a video will get lost or corrupted or weirded out. Sorry about that. So that's cool, Laura. Yeah, I'll definitely do some more. If you guys have things you suggest, let me know. Yeah, there is not enough menswear on YouTube, but you will see there are other folks sewing menswear in the chat, and there are also other men that join the chat as well, and they're sewing all kinds of things. So it is you're seeing it more and more. So I really think, like, yeah, you're just gonna have to start, maybe, you know, sharing what you make. Yeah, right, Nancy? Exactly. Yeah, so any donations I get this month will go straight to them. They have a special thing going right now, so I feel like that was really easy for me to jump on that. So, yeah. Yeah, and I always welcome suggestions. I do this pretty much for free, so don't be offended if I'm like, yeah, I can't really sew that because it might be something that would cost me a lot and I don't have a use for it. Or it just depends, right? If it kind of dovetails into some things I want or some things I think the stream are been kind of begging for, that works really well. You can always tell Hart's Fabric, like, hey, I really want to see her sew this. Will you send it to her? I'm sure they would consider it, you know. Or if you know of a fabric store that wants things, or a pattern company, you guys totally tell them, hey, I really want to see this sewn. Give the project to this gal. I don't like, they don't pay me. I just do it. It's content for the stream. It's content for the community. And then I can send off the project to them. I don't keep it. So it's kind of win-win. I don't really need, you know, we made 56 things last year on camera, and I made far more things, not than that, but I made other things off camera. So I really don't need to add to my closet or anything. So yeah, right, I know. Hart's Fabric, and it's Harts in Santa Cruz, California. I should have a command for them, you guys. I'll write it in the chat though. I'll link it. I can link it. I don't think that if Brooke's here, she'll link it for you too, but let me link it for you. Let's see. They send things out really quickly too. I actually really loved them. Megan! Awesome! Thanks. Oh, thank you, Brookie. I was just about to do that. That's awesome. Thanks, Megan. Cool. That might be through Super Chat. I'm going to pass it along to Streamlabs. What's that little icon? Did you pick that? What is it? Is that your, I can't see your guys' thumbnails, so. Yeah, I used to order from Hart's before they knew who I was, and I did it for years as my factory. Yeah, that's perfect, Brooke. I knew you kind of were on it. I just didn't know if you were like swapping out your yarn on the drying rack. Oh, that is good through Streamlabs. Awesome. Here. Thank you. Did you write that, Megan? I never dreamed this day would come, sigh. Or did I? Yeah, that's awesome. You guys are so great. All right, I'm gonna head out, and so I will see you Saturday at 11 a.m. We're here Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday, pretty much without fail. If you ever want to see my schedule for the week, you can pop on Instagram, and I usually post it on Tuesday sometime to let you know what we're making for the week. This week I didn't really post it because I wanted you guys to direct me, and you guys picked the Cleo kinda. So that's what we're doing. All right, you guys, I will see you Saturday. Thank you so much. Thanks for finding the real stream today. I know it was kind of a bit of a hoop jump, so we'll see you guys soon, and happy sewing. Bye.